Assalamualaikum and good afternoon everyone. Okay, in this video we are going to look into the third formatting output options in MATLAB, which is known as the Sprintf. Okay, so basically the sprint function is similar to the Sprintf function. However, instead of sending the output to the command window for Sprintf, the Sprintf function will assign the output a name and then send it to the command window. Here is some examples, or maybe the comparison between the Sprintf function and also the Sprintf function. So I'm going to demonstrate on my MATLAB window here. Okay, you can see my MATLAB window. I'm going to type on the command window. Okay, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to assign variable name A to the fprint function. So this fprint command will print out this statement, which is read as sum output is, this is the placeholder 4.2 F, and this is the symbol to tell MATLAB to start a new line each time. Close the string. Okay, so every time the content of your string is turned into this purple color, so it means that you punya string assigned to is complete. Okay, and then this is the pi multiply with 1000. Okay, look at this command window. Okay, for the variable A, and then for variable B, I'm going to use the Sprintf. Okay, the syntax is almost similar to the Sprintf. The only difference is the spelling. So sum output is percentage 4.2, and it was the same line. Pi multiply with 1000. Okay, if you can notice the difference, okay, with Sprintf, okay, the variable A here, the result from Sprintf command is a character count. Okay, the count of character. Macam mana you tahu dia character count? Okay, you boleh go to atau you boleh browse you punya workspace window here. You can see variable name A ni kan. Okay, you boleh double click, and then you can see here this one, variable A. You can see that A is assigned to 24. 24 is actually bilangan character for this statement. Sum output is 3141.59. This is the character count. Okay, so the result of a fprint function will be printed out as a character count. Meanwhile, the result from Sprintf function is actually the actual string. Maksudnya, apa string yang you letak dalam Sprintf command tu, okay, dia akan keluar as the result from ataupun the output from Sprintf function. So here dekat workspace window ni, you boleh observe yang A ni adalah result from Sprintf. Okay, dia print out as 24. Okay, so 24 ni is the character count. So you boleh try buka the result from the sprintf command, which is variable name b here. So bila you buka, you akan lihat yang b contain the character ataupun the actual string yang you insert tadi. Okay, which is the same output is 3141.59. Okay, so why is this useful ataupun when would this be useful? Okay, normally the sprintf will be used to specify a string that is then used in a graph annotation. Okay, maksudnya when you ada satu graph and then you nak annotate that graph, maybe you nak put more labeling on that graph, you can use this sprintf function to specify the contents of a text box. Okay, you boleh masukkan text box lah dalam graph tu. Okay, guna sprintf function. Okay, for more untuk lebih memahami sprintf function ni, so kita akan lihat example here. Okay, let me show you this example here. Okay, so this is an example which describe an equation for determining the range of a projectile fired from a cannon. Okay, so this is the equation given. So r theta equals to v square over g multiplied with sine 2 theta, where r theta is the range in meters, v is the initial projectile velocity in meter per second, theta is the launch angle, g is the gravity acceleration, which is 9.9 meter over second square. So this example wants to plot the angle on the x-axis. So apa yang kita nak buat adalah we are going to plot. Okay, so using this equation, okay, kita akan buat plot of x and y. So the x-axis, mana pen ni? The x-axis, alamak. So the x-axis akan represent the angle in degrees, and y-axis akan represent ni angle in degrees, and then y-axis akan represent the range in meter. Okay, range that the cannonball travel, ataupun dia punya range of projectile of that cannonball. Okay, and then dia akan jadi something like this lah. Okay, and then kita akan masukkan text box. Okay, kita akan masukkan text at the maximum range, okay, to indicate the maximum distance, okay, for the cannonball. Okay, right. So next, okay, so here is the script for that. To find the maximum projectile range for a given set of conditions. Okay, so let's get back to our MATLAB window. I already typed it here before this. Okay, so this is the script to find the maximum projectile range. So we're going to the task is to create an annotated graph of the results. Okay, first what you have to do is you are going to define the input parameters. Okay, so what are the input given? So from question, kita ada equation tadi kan, and then all the velocity, acceleration due to the gravity, and also the theta is the input. So saya buat space lah, supaya senang kita nak melihat. Okay, so here are the input. Okay, yang ni semua is given in the question. So gravity acceleration is 9.9, velocity, the initial velocity is given as 100, and the theta is launch angle. Okay, however theta ni okay, for theta kita actually kita select the value. Okay, this is in degrees. Okay, from 0 to 90 degrees. Okay, because okay, you kena imagine lah that bukan imagine, dia actually the maximum projectile tu will occur at 45 degrees. Okay, sebab you tengok sini sekejap, saya tunjuk yang saya maksudkan bila maximum range tu occur at 45 degree here. So imagine ni dia punya cannon tu being fired here. So we have dia punya initial velocity 100 meter per second. So 0 degree start yang ni. Okay, line yang horizontal ni. Okay, and this one is the 90 degrees. So that's why kita select launch angle kita from 0 until 90. Increment dia 5 degrees. Okay. Okay, so now let's get back to our M file. Okay, so kita dah siap define our input parameters. So next we are going to calculate the range. Okay, so to calculate the range, we just what we are going to do, we just masukkan the equation given. So range is equals to velocity square divide with g multiply with sine 2 theta. Okay, so notice here saya guna sin function, SIND function, to calculate the value of sine using degrees as input. Okay, so bila you nak calculate values using sine function untuk degrees, okay, you kena guna SIND. Okay, then you're going to calculate the maximum range. Okay, the maximum range kita calculate using the max function. After that, we're going to create the input for the text box. Okay, so let me show you here. Okay, first kita solve the first part ni. Just solve the range and the M. M ni is the max range. Okay, so this one kita run. Okay, so here you boleh tengok that the range, okay, is in a vector, and then the M, which is the max range, occur at this value. Okay, 1.0101 exponent 3. So it is actually exponent 3, maksudnya 1.01 darab 10 kuasa 3. So dia adalah 1010 meter. Okay, next kita tak ada apa-apa figure lagi kan. Okay, kan tadi kita cakap matlamat kita adalah kita nak create plot of angle versus distance. So this is where you tengok dekat the next section here. This is when kita akan create the input for the text box and then plot the results. Okay, run this section. Okay, so what happened is ni, saya nak tunjukkan that you akan dapat this plot which shows the range of projectile. So dia punya x-axis is the angle in degrees, and then the y-axis is the range of meters. This is the distance that the cannonball travel, okay, before it hits the ground. Okay, so the maximum range is occurs here. Okay, so macam mana cara kita specify atau kita masukkan this annotation on the graph, the max range was 1010 meter ni, adalah kita gunakan this as Sprintf function. Okay, to do that, okay, this one is the T input. Ni adalah dia punya variable name lah. T input ni kita assign to the Sprintf function, and then for the Sprintf function you masukkan whatever strings, character yang you nak buat. Okay, so max range was, and meter M ni, okay, dia akan call the value of M yang kita calculate earlier, M ni. So M tadi 1010 kan, so value of M ni dia akan gantikan dekat placeholder ni. Okay, so that's why on your figure nanti you akan dapat, so saya run balik. Okay, so you akan dapat this 1010 meters. Okay, so plot ni kita buat macam biasa, guna plot function and then insert title and X and Y labeling. Okay, this one is the text. So text ni, okay, it will be insert at 10. 10 ni dia punya macam coordinate lah, 10 MT input. Okay, so M ni dia start at ni 10, and dia punya Y coordinate is dekat M value which is 1000, and then text apa yang dia akan keluarkan adalah daripada T input variable. Okay, so kalau you nak alihkan dia, you just tukarlah. For example, maybe kita nak ni ada dekat tengah-tengah ni kan, so maybe kita start dekat 30 ke. Okay, so you boleh run. So let's see. Okay, nampak the text box sekarang dia dah bergerak ke 30. Okay, so next we're going to look at the graphical input. Okay, so in MATLAB you can enter ordered pairs of x and y values by picking them off a graph, and you can do that by using the ginput command here. So for ginput, so in the statement of ginput here, xy equals to ginput n. So the first statement here is for MATLAB to request the user to select n number of points from the figure window. So if the value of n is not included, as in the xy ginput, the next line, MATLAB will accept points until the return key is pressed. So this technique is usually useful for picking points of a graph. So picking points tu maksudnya you ada graph, satu graph, line of graph, and then you nak extract the coordinate of x and y. Okay, so you can do that by using this ginput command. So we are going to consider this graph here. Okay, so when you execute the ginput function, a floating crosshair, this is the floating crosshair, the cross symbol here ni, dia akan appear on this graph. So each time you hit you punya enter key, MATLAB akan pick the corresponding points of the graph. Okay, so let's try this out. Okay, but first we have to create this figure dululah. Okay, so to do that, let's get back to our MATLAB. Okay, so here on the MATLAB, so kita akan create figure yang saya tunjuk tadi tu figure for ginput. So first kita define x from 5 to 30, and then y is the equation untuk y, x square minus 40 multiply with x plus 400 . Okay, next we are going to plot xy. Okay, sorry, wrong. This is how kita change our axis. So axis, I want it to be, untuk paksi x is from 5 until 30. Ni range untuk paksi X. And then this is for Y axis. It is from negative 50 until 250. Okay, and then kita run. Oh, tak keluar pula dia punya tu kan. Okay, so here you can see this is the figure that we are going to execute our G input. Okay, so let's execute the G input command. A, B, okay, so notice, okay, bila you dah execute the G input command, okay, this floating crosshair will appear on the graph, and then you just have to adjust the position lah on the line. So which dekat mana set of coordinate XY that you want MATLAB to pick up. Okay, lepas tu bila you dah adjust the position, you just simply click enter, and then you akan dapat the X and Y values. Macam ni kan, let's say kita nak try pick up the lowest here, and then you just hit enter. Okay, you boleh repeat. Boleh try lah beberapa kali sehingga dapat pick up set of coordinate yang kita nak lah actually. Okay, so notice yang ni saya tak specify dia punya number n tu. Tekan enter. Okay, so A tu adalah koordinat untuk X, B ni adalah koordinat untuk Y. Okay, so for summary, okay, input function allow the user to interact with the program by entering data. Okay, you have to know macam mana nak execute input function. Okay, what are the use of this input function, and then output function. Okay, the first output function yang paling simple is the display function. Okay, display function, just as the name suggests, hanya akan display information in the command window. Okay, usually it was useful for titles and labeling. And then formatted output. Okay, so formatted output normally ada these two different type, the fprintf and sprintf. The fprintf function is more versatile than the display function because it allows you to combine text and numeric information in the formatted output. Formatted means you boleh specify, okay, berapa bilangan decimal places yang you nak, berapa digit, what kind of macam mana cara macam mana rupa digit tu yang nak keluarkan kan. Okay, and then we have also another one, formatted output also, but although similar to fprintf, okay, sprintf allow you to save the formatted output to a variable name for later use in your program. Okay, because fprintf dia akan print out on the character, print out the character on the command window. Tapi with sprintf, okay, you boleh save that formatted output to a variable name, and then later you can use that in your punya program. And then we also have the graphical input function.